Hello, lovely people! Welcome to Beyond the Lines. My name is Sarah. I'm the artist by Pinselgeschichten. I do love coloring books and I love colors and what they do. And today I have a very special drawing that I start. It's in the Outlander books because I have completed 5 episodes of Beyond the Lines, so I'm working on one of the major big pages. And this is what it's gonna look like in the end. This is my completed piece. And over the course of, including this episode, the next 6 episodes, I'm gonna show you how I color this in detail, why I choose certain colors, why I want certain parts of the drawing be colored with warm colors, some of them with cold colors, warm colors in combination, stuff like that. I'm gonna talk to you about how and why I choose certain things to complete this scenery here. Now today I will cover the sky section up here, only the blue part. So let's see how that goes. So there we are. Let's color some Outlander. Let's have a tiny bit of a drawing coloring party here. Well, not really, but I'm looking forward to this book because this is going to be the book that I dedicate for telling you about sceneries or just enjoying coloring, you know? So I tested one thing in the beginning before I will start coloring this book. This is a very pale blue of the Copic markers and it does bleed through like all the way. So I'm not sure if I will use Copics in this book here. Probably stick with colored pencils and maybe some Tombos or other markers. I'm not sure yet, but let's start with the first page because I'm gonna go about it just like the book and the series from start to finish. Not gonna pull any pages in between that I'm going to color. The text on the other side says it wasn't a very likely place for disappearances, at least at first glance. Mrs. Baird's was like 1,000 other Highland bed and breakfast establishments in 1945. Clean and quiet, with fading floral wallpaper, gleaming floors, and coin-operated hot water geysers in the lavatory. So this is Mrs. Baird, and this is the bed and breakfast. And I'm going to stay pretty close to the series when it comes to the color scheme. So it's very much, so the house will be warm grays and black. And these will be a bit of a colder gray. Street is probably going to be a colder gray as well. There's going to be a burgundy, very dark burgundy, almost mahogany, kind of a reddish brown in that sign here, and the car. And then I'm going to fill in the back with greens, same for these planty pots here and the ivory. And the sky, probably a grayish blue, not like the blue kind of a thing, like bam, sunlight and things, because you can see clouds back here. So this is more of an overcast kind of a day. There's rain puddles up here, so of course it has been raining. It's Scotland, it's the Highlands, and even it's supposed to be spring in this scenery here, but still you could also make it any other, well, month of the year. Before I start coloring, I wanna look at where my light will come from, where the sun is, the sun that you can't see, so that I will be consistent throughout coloring this page. And I think I will have it come from here. So the light will go like this, which means it will cast a shadow here It will cast shadows up here. The whole section of this part of the house will be in shadow, which is just darker and therefore makes for a nice contrast. And with these puddles, I will have a lot of fun of coloring those. Those will be woohoo. So today in the video, I will probably just cover the clouds up here and maybe the hillside, not the bushes per se. I think that will be enough, depending on how much I talk and how much I can. Well, I'm only gonna speed up the parts where I'm not talking, otherwise the audio won't work on the right spots where I say something. So if I don't say a lot, I can actually cover quite a bit. The next part will be in the next section. I think the house will be a whole week to cover. The street, the car will be a whole thing to cover in a week, and I guess those two houses as well. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The materials that I'm going to use are the polychromos. So colored pencil, they're oil based. And today I'm also going to work with a few brushes and paint thinner. This is my jar of paint thinner that I'm going to use. And to not have the paint thinner seep through, I have to get an acrylic plate or something that I can put underneath. Hold on, I have to move because I'm unprepared. Let me very quickly, where is it? My studio is too big. No, it's not, but there it is. Just had to find it. There we are. This is what I like to put underneath any drawings or pieces of paper where I don't want anything to seep through. I do that a lot with the Copics because they, like we just saw on the back of the book, they really bleed. So if I plan to apply a lot of pressure with the pencils, or if I use the paint thinner, this is really gonna help. With a light hand, I don't need that plate for now. I will only need it later, and now I have to choose what colors I want. So for the clouds, I want cold grays, which should be these two tones, maybe a third one. And then I need blues that are kind of grayish, or I need to layer. So I should go with this one, the ultramarine. No, that's a sky blue. Oh, that works nice. Usually I don't look at the colors, I just take whatever I need. But I need a second of those. Yeah, I guess I should. Should I have this one? What is it called? Cobalt blue. No, that's very strong. I don't think I will need another blue because I'm focusing on the grayish look of the sky, not so much the green look of the blue look of the sky. But let me quickly sharpen my pencils. And one thing that I always recommend is turn your books or paper, if you draw, just to make it comfortable for the hand, and that makes it way easier to consistently apply a very light hand when it comes to coloring. Now I have to move stuff out of the way because otherwise I won't be able to turn my paper. All right, so let's get going. I have to turn it. Already starting because again I'm left-handed, so I gotta work in a way that makes it most comfortable for me when it comes to placing my hand and not smudging anything. So I have the 3 grays and I have the 2 blues. What do I want to start with? Let's start in that corner, which would be gray. And I'm just gonna give it a complete coat of the lightest color. Just check out how the paper works with colored pencils. It should work fairly nicely, since it's made for colored pencils, as I understand. And so far, yeah, that's not too shabby. Let's go in with the next one and color darker from below. Apply a bit of pressure here. Okay, this paper doesn't take a lot of layers, as it seems. Let's go in with the next darkest. Apply more pressure. Okay. All right. So now let's go with the plate underneath, just to make sure I don't F anything up. I'm taking this one here, the smallest brush, some paint thinner. I'm taking the Mona Lisa odorless one because I find that it doesn't give me any migraines. I do get migraines from other paint thinners or turpentine oils or turpentine, yeah, oils it is. So I try to stay away from those, though they're awesome for cleaning brushes and stuff. But for coloring, I stay away from them. So now I'm just gonna blend things out. And wait for it to dry completely before I apply the darkest color. And I just decided I'm gonna have a very dark gray, and that is a cold one, I think. Should be, yeah. Or do I even go one darker? Let's be brave and go one more. That's a 5, yeah, that should work. All right, so there's the Cloudy McCloud done. And now I can go on with the next cloud. I will fill in the blues in between. I just want to go with the grays first. So that cloud goes from here to here. It's just pretty much rolling over the hill. So I will have the darkest section around the hill and just feather out to the lightest parts on the upper section. So let's give it a very light coat of the lightest gray. Though you can't really see the gray, and I'm going to apply the dark grays on top, the more pigment I do have on my page here, the more I can move around with the paint thinner, the more it will blend in the end. Usually I go about, let's say, 3 to 5 layers minimum, depending on how strong the color is. Sometimes I have to go with 5, sometimes I can achieve something with 3 layers of color, but usually I go with more like 5 layers of color before I start blending, just to make sure that I have enough pigment on my page before I start blending. Because otherwise you blend into nothingness, and then, well, you don't really have a difference between not using the paint thinner and using the paint thinner. Okay, I'm not gonna go all the way to the right with that medium gray. Now let's go in with the darks. These are really dark. This is like the perfect April kind of a weather that is going on in this page here. So it's very, very stormy, cloudy kind of look. It's definitely gonna rain in that section very soon again, at least with the colors that I choose. So let's go super dark here on top, and I'm leaving out a tiny bit here in that section to not have colored with the darker grays, but that is like the lighter section of the clouds that doesn't need to have the darkest darks like all the way up. Otherwise you have just a blob and you cannot convey depth or perspective, distance, stuff like that. Just tapping along that thing. Okay, and now I'm going in with the darkest one of that already. Just going where I really want to have the darks. I'm being way more sparse with the super darks here. The super darks, super darks. I don't know why I just started singing. I'm so sorry. So let's go over the hill. Just color that section here. Being really very narrow with the line that I'm going to give the darkest pigment to. Okay, and now I can go up. Just have some contrast there. All right, this one has to go like this. Okay, now it's paint thinner time again. I'm soaking it and rubbing it onto my paper towel to not have too much liquid, and now I'm just gonna blend. It doesn't look like much now, but once it's dry, it's just a way more smooth and less grainy kind of a look, which I really, really like. It doesn't look like the printed or the Copic markers, like the super blended smoothies, but you get rid of many of those pencil strokes that you see when you color with pencils, and you have white parts in between. Just gets rid of that. And I think in sceneries where that you maybe want to frame, or that are just so beautiful to your eye, and you spend hours and hours coloring, and you're proud of your work in the end, you might consider using a bit of a paint thinner just to, well, have it look even more smooth in the end. It's just that little something. It sometimes makes the difference between like a practice page and a real page there. So now I'm going to go back. Yeah, that one is dry now, so let's quickly give it a bit of a darker color here, just to have a bit more of the thunder clouds or rain clouds rolling in kind of a feel. Just having a very light touch of paint thinner, and that's that. No more work needed for now, at least not on that cloud. So the next cloud is behind the smoke, so I have to separate. Hold on, I have to turn it for a bit. Yeah, okay, so this section here is the smoke from the house. And I should color that in pretty much at the same time. I'm going probably a tiny bit darker with that smoke just to set it apart from the clouds in the back. So let's put it in screen again. Okay, what I'm gonna do for one is pulling that one off, because I don't really like coloring on that on that board. Excuse me. So I'm taking away, which one am I taking away? Let's start with the darkest and work our ways back and see when is the point that I don't need any gray, dark gray look anymore and can maybe skip a tone or something. Okay, so here we are. I skipped this one and it's called Gray 3. I skipped that one. It's one of the grays that I use in the clouds. And I throw away my pencils. Why do I do that kind of stuff? So I skipped that for the smoke that comes off of Mrs. Baird's chimney, because she's heating up the room for Claire and Frank. At least that's what I assume. So I skipped that and went in with the dark grays, and now I'm just blending the whole thingamajig and pulling a tiny bit of the darkest pigment into the lighter sections. It's not much, you can't really see it, but with other colors you can really see how you pull the pigment towards the lighter sections. With the grays, not so much. Okay. Bling, bing, bing. That's super awesome at the mic. Alright, let's go for the last cloud, and then I'm gonna talk sky. No, not the Isle of Skye. Alright, so now I have the grays blocked in pretty much. Now I go about the blues. Just color very, very lightly in tiny little circles, giving those sections in between the clouds a color layer. And I'm staying super light with my hand because it might be that I guess I will just wanna have darker colors on the border of the hill and go lighter towards the top of the page. I'm not sure if I want to do that or if I will do that, but just to have the opportunity, I will stay with a super light hand and go over the whole section 2-3 times to have my layers of color so that I can blend it out with the paint thinner. Alright, there we go, and now let's go in with the darker blue. And again I start singing and I don't know why. Just have tiny bit. I think I should turn it now because that is important for the shading process. I should be looking at my drawing or at my page in the right direction. Okay, let's just go about it like this. A bit more of a dark blue here. Maybe go a bit higher. But just very, very light hand. And going a bit heavier handed on the lower section, but not even medium heavy hand. Okay. Going over the whole thingamajig with the light blue again. And then I'm gonna blend that, and if I like the result, I'm going to do that for the rest of the sky section. Alright, let's see how it looks when it's blended. It should look fairly nice. Do I want to give it a gray touch? That's why, yeah, maybe. So mid-section gray. Just giving it a gray layer. just to not have it be too separated from the cloudy section. All right, let's blend. All right, so I like the look of that. Let's see how it looks when it's completely dry with the paint thinner. You can see it seeps through a bit. But I think that's the way to go, so I'm going to color the rest of the sky in the same fashion. All right, sky is done, ta-da. Let's choose the greens for the hill and these two bushes here. I'm not gonna choose the ones for the pots here and the ivory yet. But I usually, like when I work on a project and I know that I'm not gonna finish it that day, I don't put back the pencils the way they were, but I just put them like this. Can you even see? Like this, so that I know I used it in that piece. So when it comes to color repetition, that actually really helps to choose your colors and not go wild with all of the colors that are on the rainbow. So one thing that I definitely want to have, because background is cool colors and kind of faded colors, the whole page is pretty much very desaturated because I stay close to how the show depicted it, and in that section of the series it's very desaturated. I'm already brighter and more boom in your face with my blue colors than the sky in the show is, but I don't want to just have a whole gray page. I'm coloring here, so come on guys. But I want to have a kind of a desaturated color, so I have to have, what is it called? Sage, maybe? It looks like earth green. So it's earth green. I'm going to go with that one, and now I have to make a color test to see which one I like, and I just keep my sketchbook with it. You can see it's very, I would call it sage pretty much. What do I want to have as a mid-tone and a dark tone? That could work. What about this one? What's it called? Chrome oxide green. Oh yeah, I like this. Ha ha. And maybe that one, because it looks kind of nice, at least with... Yeah, that's not too shabby, those 4. And now I need one more. That is maybe, let me see, so I need a brownish green. More like this one here, I need a bit more. Nope. Maybe just go with the brown? No. What to do? Maybe just really dark and bluish green. If I put those together. Is that a nice color feel? Yeah, for the trees. Alrighty. So I got my greens. And next week you can color with me when it comes to the hills and that bush here and that green shrubbery boomsty back there. That's a technical term, by the way. So yeah, I hope you had fun and enjoyed this part, and I will see you next week. There's funny sounds here in the background, and I don't know if the mic picks it up or what it is, if it's a plane, a helicopter, or just plain thunder. I don't know, but it distracts me. So I will have the list of the blog post up on my webpage once I have this page completed. So in case you want to know the numbers for the pencils, you either have to wait until we're done, or maybe you read it from the screen, because I'm actually behind the scenes information. I'm actually going on coloring now. You will see the same blouse maybe, but I will cut the video in between to just make sure I'm not stealing your time like every week. So take care, everybody. Do all the good YouTube stuff. Like, share, subscribe, because it really helps. And I hope you enjoyed this and had some fun. Maybe you have this book and can color with me. If you do, please, 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 please send me a photo of your work. I'm pretty curious and I'd like to see. And I will see you next week, and we're going on with that page here. Enjoy, everybody. Bye.